everyone, welcome back to my channel, and I'm so excited about today's video because we're kicking off a brand new series that I've been planning for a while now, and it's called as must read books. So a lot of people who are close to me also they do not know how much I love reading books and how much I do actually read books. At least not as much as I would love to, but I do read books whenever I find time or whenever I just want to get away from this hectic schedule. Yeah. So in this series, I'm going to share you guys with my top recommendations, and we're going to dive into why you absolutely need to read these books. So now I know a lot of people who would love for a good read, whether you're an avid reader or you're just looking for something new to dive in, and I'm here to help you with that. Whether you're into fiction or non-fiction or a little bit of both, I've got something for everyone. And don't worry, I'm gonna keep this spoiler free because I know how frustrating and annoying it would be if someone snatches away that magic by just giving out the spoilers. So we're not gonna do that here. So I'm gonna list out 5 books in this episode. None of the no particular order or anything. So these are like 5 great books that I love, and it's nothing, the book I say in the first doesn't particularly have to be the best, or the book in the bottom doesn't have to be the least I love. It's all equally had impact on me in a different way. So yes, let's dive into it. Now we're gonna start with a classic. The book is called To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. If you haven't read this book yet, I don't know what you're waiting for. This is the book, guys. This has stood the test of time and still continues to impact readers today. Not only readers, but also the writers, It's a work of fiction, but it's one of those novels that, feels so real, so honest, and emotional that it leaves you reflecting on life long after you've even read this book. So this book is basically set in 1930s in a fictional town of Alabama, and the story is told through the eyes of a scout, a young girl. The novel revolves around her father, who's actually fighting to save the innocent black man who is accused of raping a white woman. It's a pungent story about racial injustice, the importance of empathy and standing up for what's right, even when it's the most difficult time. I love how Harper Lee, uses the lens of the Scout's childhood to explore some heavy themes like racism, morality, and the loss of, innocence. But at the same time, the book doesn't feel like, it's something really heavy, or it doesn't feel like a lesson. Rather, it stays like a conversation. A conversation the book can have with you. It's just so incredibly moving and thought-provoking. There's a reason this book is still studied in schools, and it's considered one of the greatest American novels. If you're someone who enjoys stories that make you think deeply about the society and human nature, this book is a must read, and trust me, you'll remember it for a very long time after you finish. So now let's switch gears a little bit and let's go for a book which is a little bit more practical, and the book is called The Atomic Habits by James Clear. So this book was recommended to me when I was studying psychology undergrad. So this book is really a game changer, guys. Especially if you're someone who's ever struggled with forming new habits or breaking the old ones. It's a non-fiction book, obviously, but it's absolutely packed with actionable strategies that you could start using right away. The book breaks down how small, consistent habits can lead into results over time, big results over time. Because there are books I've read which talks about how important goals are or how important setting an ambition is. But this is one of those books, which tells us how to get there. It says us how even the smallest of our actions either helps us build to get there, or it might, put us a step back. So this is a very practical book. I would suggest this to everyone. The book breakdowns, your small, consistent habits that leads. And this book, you not even, notice at first, but this book can build a momentum and lead into massive improvements in your life. And I'll be honest, I have started few of these strategies. This has helped me organize, take controls over my habits, take control over my actions of what I do every day. And I could really see a lot of changes. This book uses real life examples and researches to show how minor changes, the things even we might not notice, impacts our far-fetched future. So if you're looking for a book that's going to motivate you to control your feelings or you control your habits and take control of all of them, this is definitely one to read. It's practical, inspiring, and backed with science. So it's kind of the book that makes you feel like you can actually make lasting change. So I highly recommend. We've talked about a fiction, a non-fiction. Now we're going to dive, a little bit more crazier and darker. So this book is called The Book of Cold Cases by Simone St. James. You guys know I am a sucker for thrillers. I study criminal psychology. And this one was absolutely gripping from start to finish. So, it's not just a psychological thriller, but it's a kind of story that, it has a lot of mystery twists, and trust me, it does not disappoint you. In this book, we meet a woman who is obsessed with cold cases for years, a double murder from 1970s, I hope. But when she gets a chance to meet the women who is suspected of committing these murders, then things take a wild turn. What I loved about this book is its atmosphere. It's eerie, it's tense, and gives you that spine-chilling vibe that makes you want to keep reading late into night. I've had friends who've told me that they have read this book in one sitting because they couldn't wait to close the book, wait for the next day to start reading again. So they wanted to finish this book. So that's how interesting it is. I should appreciate the author, but because the author has done a fantastic job of blending mystery with elements of supernatural, and it keeps you on the edge of the seat the whole time. The twist in this book, oh my god, they leave you shocked. If you love a good twist, a chilling atmosphere, and complex characters, this one will not disappoint you. It's a thrilling ride with the perfect mix of suspense and heart-stopping moments if you are into cold cases and secrets and stories that make you think about what's lurking in shadows. Definitely this one is for you. And it should be on your TBR list, guys. This dark, crazy book. I'm gonna recommend you a book which is such a calm book. This book, it feeds your soul, and that book is known as The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. This book is really special to me because this was the first book I ever read. The first ever fiction I've ever read is The Alchemist. This book is absolutely beautiful, guys. It's one of those books that stays with you, long after you've read it. And it's a work of fiction, obviously. But it feels like a spiritual guide to living your best life. So the story follows a young shepherd who, has recurring dreams about finding treasure. So he sets up a journey to cross the desert to find it. But along the way, he learns that the true treasure isn't about the gold or materialistic, okay? So he realizes that, what treasure actually is in life. It's about understanding your heart, your purpose, and your dream. It's about the lessons you learn while chasing your personal legend. So, what I love about this book is how it speaks to your heart. It's simple yet profound. The messages, about following your dreams, overcoming obstacles, and trusting your own intuitions are so powerful. It's kind of a book, that you can read multiple times, and each time you'll find something new that resonates with you. Because I've read it multiple times. And this is not even a thick book, it's a really thin book. and I think I finished this book in one sitting. Yeah, that time I think we had a cyclone and we had to stay home. There was no internet, there was no uh, power or anything. So the only thing I was able to do was take a book and read it. And this was such a book. It was, I finished it in almost, yeah, I finished it in one sitting, and it really stayed to me, you know. If you're someone who's searching for meaning or purpose, or if you just need a little bit of inspiration to push forward, this book will absolutely help you see the beauty of the life. And this book I would also, recommend to people who are having a really bad time in life. All of us have such stages in life. When you really have bad time, or when you're going through something, or when you're confused, take this book, read it. It gives you a kind of hopefulness, it gives you a sense of peace, and yeah, that stays with you, that helps you. So this is a must read. So I have left one of my favorites, I would say, and this is the book I amongst these five, this is the recently read book, I would say. So this book I read when I was traveling to UK on the flight. I read this book, and it's none other than Verity. So yes, guys, it's Verity by Colin Hoover. Wow, that's all I have to say about this one, because it's totally different from what usually Colin Hoover writes. It's totally different from what the romance novel she used to write. It ends with this, or it starts with this, but this one really blew my mind. It is a psychological thriller, and let me tell you, the twists in this book are something you never saw coming. The story follows, a struggling writer who was hired to finish the books of a renowned author called Verity. But when the writer goes into Verity's home to go through the notes, she uncovers some dark, twisted secrets of Verity's life, her family, and the things she's done. It's creepy, suspenseful, and honestly, it made my heart race the whole time. The thing about this book is you'll go back and forth questioning what's real and what's not. It plays with your mind, guys. It really, I'm a kind of person who's not really confused with anything fictional. I have a clarity of whatever I've read. I know that this is the story, but this one, I remember going to another chapter. I read something and I got confused. How did this happen? So I had to go back to the previous chapter, and I was like, oh, okay, this is what happened. So that is what I'm talking about. It has so many twists, so many, mind-blowing stuff. As I said, it plays with your mind. And it's so difficult to put it down once you start. The emotions are intense, the tension is palpable, and just when you think you figured it all out, trust me, no one ever figures this out. With the amount of predictions I've made, or with the amount of things I thought I figured out, I could literally write 15 to 20 versions of the book, and still this version would be the best. And the twist comes all around in a way you never expect. If you like psychological thriller that messes with your mind and keep you at night, this one is the must. And make sure you're ready before you read it, because as I said, it's a wild roller coaster ride from the start to the finish. That's it for today, guys. I'm going to conclude my episode of must read books. I hope you guys enjoyed my recommendations, and I really hope you'll pick some of these amazing books. I promise you won't regret it. If you've read any of these books, let me know how your thoughts in the comments below, or if you're planning to read them, I'd love to hear them too. Also, let me know what books you want to review next, because I'm always looking for some new recommendation. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, so that you don't miss the next chapter of must read books or any other chapters. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time with even more amazing books and even more amazing contents to talk about. Happy reading, everyone. Thank you, guys.